Okay, so you've heard of ChatGPT, right? I mean, you've probably even used it. But here's the thing. What if I told you that most of us are using it completely wrong? Yep. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this AI and really get to the bottom of its true and way more powerful purpose.
I mean, look, it's the most popular AI on the planet for a reason. It's our go-to for a quick answer, maybe a creative spark. But that's exactly the problem. Its popularity has kind of created this massive misunderstanding about what this thing was actually built to do.
So, what is its real job then? Right now, most of us treat it like a fancy encyclopedia or a superpowered search engine. But honestly, that's like using a spaceship for a trip to the grocery store. Its core design is for something, well, way more profound. And it means we have to completely rethink how we approach it.
All right, so let's get into it. Let's start with what I'm calling the big reframe. If you really want to unlock what ChatGPT can do, you have to just totally forget this idea of it being an answer machine. Its real purpose is something else entirely.
And here it is, the big secret. At its heart, ChatGPT is designed to be a general-purpose thinking assistant. Yeah, a thinking assistant. So think of it less like an encyclopedia that just knows a bunch of stuff, and more like a brilliant partner that you can actually brainstorm and reason with.
Okay, so what does a thinking assistant actually do? Well, it does all this stuff. It helps you work through tricky logic. It can break down super complex topics for you. It can help you architect entire plans. See, it's not just about spitting out a final answer. It's about the collaboration, the journey to get to the answer. That whole process, that's the product. And this quote, this really nails it. Its true power isn't in what it knows, but in how it thinks. It has this incredible ability to connect seemingly random ideas and follow really complex logic. It feels like a real creative partner. And once you get that, well, that just changes everything.
Okay, so if it's this amazing thinking partner, what's actually making it tick? What's the engine that drives all that thinking? Let's pop the hood for a second and take a look at the core strengths that make it so powerful.
All right, these are basically the 4 pillars of its power. First up, its reasoning engine is just best in class. That's what lets it tackle really tough logic problems and write some seriously sophisticated code. Second, it has strong multimodal capabilities. Now that's just a fancy way of saying it can handle more than just text. You can upload an image and it'll analyze it, you can talk to it and it'll respond. Third, it's just excellent at handling really complex prompts. You can give it these long, detailed instructions, and it won't get lost or forget what you were talking about. And finally, it's got this mature API, which is basically just a toolkit for developers, and that lets them build this powerful thinking right into their own apps and services. Super cool.
So what happens when you put all those strengths together? Well, you get this. It stops being just a tool and becomes a role player. Seriously, it can become your personal tutor, your coding partner, or that business consultant you need to bounce ideas off of. It actually adapts its thinking style to whatever role you assign. But, of course, no tool is perfect. And to use this thing well, you have to understand not just what it can do, but what it can't do. So let's talk about the boundaries.
And these weaknesses are absolutely crucial to get your head around. First, there's the big one, hallucinations. It can and will confidently just invent facts out of thin air. Why? Because its main goal is to create text that sounds plausible, not to be a perfect fact checker. So you got to be careful. Second, for heavy-duty or advanced use, you're probably going to need a paid subscription. And finally, and this is a big one, the quality of its thinking is 100% dependent on the quality of your instructions. You give it vague prompts, you're going to get vague results. Garbage in, garbage out.
So this really sums up the central trade-off, right? On one hand, for those deep, complex tasks like coding a whole new app or mapping out a business strategy, it's an incredible partner, unparalleled. But on the other hand, for simple, real-time stuff like, hey, what's the weather today? It's just total overkill. It really is like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut. Okay, which brings us to maybe the most important part of this whole thing. We know what it is, we know its strengths, we know its weaknesses, but who are the people that get the absolute most value out of this tool?
Let's dive in and find out. Let's look at who I'm calling the 5-star users. These are the people who can get truly game-changing value by making this thing a part of their daily workflow.
First up, and this is a no-brainer, developers. Easy 5 stars. I mean, for things like generating boilerplate code, hunting down some nasty bug, designing a new system, or even just trying to learn a new programming language, it's an absolutely indispensable co-pilot.
Next up, students, another 5-star rating for sure. Just think about it. Imagine having a personal tutor on call 24/7 that can explain something like quantum physics or Shakespearean literature in really simple terms, using whatever analogy helps you get it. It's just an incredible learning accelerator.
And finally, we've got founders and architects. Really, anyone whose job involves high-level strategic thinking. You can use it to draft business plans, to wargame what your competitors might do, to design complex systems. It's like having a strategic thinking partner right there with you.
Okay, so let's bring this all together. We've reframed ChatGPT from a simple answer machine to a powerful thinking partner. We've looked at its strengths, its weaknesses, and who it's really built for. So what's the big takeaway here?
Here's a super simple map you can use. First, ask yourself why you need it. If the answer is for thinking and reasoning, not just for a quick fact, you're on the right track. Next, where should you use it? Well, we've seen the best fits are in development, education, and strategy. And finally, when is the right time? Use it for the complex stuff, the big, multi-step problems that need a whole workflow, not just one single answer.
And if you remember only one thing from this, let it be this. Don't just ask it questions. Engage it. Treat it like a collaborator. Use it to challenge your own assumptions, to brainstorm completely new ways of doing things, and to build something complex, together, side by side. And I'll just leave you with this final thought. This shift from a tool that just gives you answers to a partner that actually thinks with you, it's a profound one. It opens up a whole new world of possibilities. So the real question isn't what can ChatGPT do? The real question is, what can you now do with it? What problems are you going to solve?